There he is, locked and loaded and ready to go. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning, Big O. How's it going, man?
I'm in Vegas, so can't be too bad.
Oh, when are you not in Vegas, Big O?
Yeah, no, that's true, actually. Yeah, we have come to Vegas a few times lately. Yeah.
Wow, so you're an early riser in Vegas this morning.
Yeah, I know, especially when I went to sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm up 5 hours later, and it's like, and I only did an hour of prep, so I didn't really do a lot of prep today. So
it's not like you're a drinker, so that's probably the best part.
Yeah. No, I don't really. I'm not really a party guy or anything like that. Those days, that was a long time ago, bro. That was the 80s was a long time ago. Those my party days are absolutely done. That's for damn sure. What'd you think of last night? I'm sure my plane ride was a lot more entertaining than watching that shit.
Oh, I didn't watch it at all, to be honest.
Really?
I did not watch the game at all, to be honest.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, my good friend Josh Tolentino covers the Eagles now. He used to cover the Dolphins in town. So Josh was in town, went out last night with a couple of guys, to do some Art Basel stuff. So I didn't watch the game at all, man. I watched the first half, and when I saw it hit the over already, I was like, okay, the fix was already in. Yeah. But the thing that kind of made the most sense to me was that Trubisky is a backup who doesn't get a lot of reps. Pickett went down on the game on Sunday, and then these teams don't practice. They really don't practice for Thursday games after Sundays.
Right.
So you kind of saw what happened there, and Bailey Zappi had about 4 weeks of practice, at least 3 weeks or so, two or three games, I guess, that he started. So the residual effect of that kind of happened, and I mean they didn't score in the second half, but the Steelers, it was about a matter of time before they fall out the playoff mix, and they're definitely well on their way.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's just they've got it's just not that team. What do you think of Najee Harris? He really didn't turn out to be that stud that some thought he would be. He's had a good career, but he hasn't turned into, because I was looking at his numbers before you came on, 1,200 and 1,034 the last 2 years, 3.9 and 3.8, 7 touchdowns each season, 3 by air each season, 467 the first year, 229 the second year. And this year he's at 690 with 4 touchdowns. So he's kind of on pace again to get kind of 1,000 yards and about 7 touchdowns. Did Najee just end up in a bad situation? That's why he's not really shining, or Najee not as good as we thought he could be?
I think it's maybe just wear and tear a little bit, man. By the time these guys get to the NFL as running backs specifically, they've carried the ball maybe 10,000 yards already by now. You look at the carries just in college alone. I pulled it up right now. Najee Harris had more than 600 carries in college, 4 years. Think about what he did in high school, right? So look at the wear and tear that some players have. I think of a player like Sony Michel, who put in a lot of numbers in high school and then shared a backfield in Georgia. And, he recently just retired. Pretty young guy to retire, but still, when the wear and tear is on the tires, you can't get new tires as an NFL running back.
Yeah.
So I think that could be something to do with it. And we have to get into that thing where NFL fans, you have to realize the draft and picking players for the draft, it's not for today. It's not for year 1 and year 2. It's for tomorrow. Right. It's for year 3, 4, and 5 if you can re-sign the guy, or if your program is in the right space, right? That's why Austin Jackson and Tua are taking the leaps that they've have now. So, to segue into that. But I would say, Najee Harris probably had a lot of carries in college. Obviously, like I said, high school probably had just as many. Then when you get to the NFL, maybe you got 1 or 2 seasons, right? If you run that much, and sometimes that kind of comes back to bite you.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, because that was a guy that was talked a lot about for the Miami Dolphins. All right, let's get to Austin Jackson. It's a great moment. a time-tested man because he went through hell before he
Yeah.
even got to the contract. And I mean, to watch his growth, what have you been most impressed with in this process?
Yeah, the mental fortitude to come on the other side of all of this, especially last year when he was hurt and he really wanted to take the next step, and it was delayed for him, until this year. Um, and kind of the things that Tua said about him during the press conference yesterday. Tua said that pretty much Austin Jackson was called out during team meetings, and it probably was a tactic that didn't do well for him from a coaching standpoint. And now you look at the coaching that's here now, and the nourishment, right, and the encouragement, and the instilling of confidence that the coaching staff now is doing. And so Austin Jackson has definitely shown his best foot forward, from it. And plus the work that he's done, man. The kid, from when he got here to now how he looks now, kid's rock solid, dude. Body looks incredible. Has really done his job in the weight room to really prepare himself and get himself ready. And kudos to him, man. This is a kid that we all forget, man. Not only was he 20 years old when he got drafted, he was not too shy. It wasn't too long before that he gave bone marrow to his sister, who was dealing with a blood disease.
Yes,
So
bone marrow.
that took a significant toll on his body as well. So he's coming into an NFL training camp, kind of a year, I think less than a year removed from that.
Mm-hmm.
And those kind of things have effects on the body before he can kind of get back to full strength. And so his sister's doing great. So he says, well, so I got from him a couple weeks ago, and he's doing great too, man. And the Dolphins, this is a Chris Greer deal, Big O. This is Austin Jackson probably should have got another extra mil or two from this deal, in my opinion. And I think he probably did when you look at the fully guaranteed. But 12 for 36, 3 for 36 is 12 a year, just outside the top 10 for right tackles. And who knows? By the end of this deal, Austin Jackson might be playing left tackle again. And if he's playing left tackle at 12 mils a year,
No, he is
bargain.
playing. He is playing left tackle.
He's playing right tackle.
No, he's playing left tackle on this team. It's a left tackle.
Yeah, because
he's the left tackle on this team.
I agree.
Right?
I agree. Yeah.
So he's actually playing the most important position on the line. It's not Terron Armstead. It's actually Austin Jackson, because that's Tua's blind side. So in this team, he actually plays the most important. And you think about it, Rob Hunt and Austin Jackson in the same draft, along with Tua, you ended up getting Tua's blind side locked up, and you found your quarterback, which is just sick. Now, I want to add one caveat to this. I think we lean, even though we should lean heavily on it, and you're right, we all should lean on it, but I think we need to credit something else, because one of the points you made, which is solid, but I got to add something to it, is that you said that the teaching methods of Mike McDaniel are better than what Flo and company were doing at calling out Austin Jackson. Totally true. But the other key, and you've been at this long enough, whether it's in college, whether it's in the NFL, I don't give a shit about the level. If you don't coach what works, you will not get players to follow you. You will not get players to believe in you. They will tune your ass out. And that's one thing that also Flo had. Not only did his staff not teach the right way and communicate the right way with people, but at the same time, he didn't have a staff that could actually teach people how to do things the right way on offense. Let me make sure.
Especially on offense.
Defense, he did a good job overall. I mean,
especially on offense. He didn't know any coaches.
Yeah, right. And that to me is also the key, that McDaniel knows what the hell he's doing. He's got incredibly competent people around him. And then that combination, you can't beat that. If you can reach people and you can teach them, reach and teach, that's every player will love you after that.
The best thing that the Dolphins did when they hired Mike McDaniel was keeping Brian Flores' defensive staff, right?
Yes.
Campanelli, Austin Clark, outside linebackers coach. Like, I think somebody else came in with Vic as well, but To have people here on a part of the ball where Mike McDaniel probably knows some defensive coaches, right? But he probably knows some defensive head coaches, right? Like he knows Robert Saleh, he knows D'Amico Ryans. There's probably some linebackers coach or D tackle coach that he knows out there if he needs one and wants to hire one. But for Mike came with an offensive staff and he had his offensive staff together and he didn't have to worry about a defensive staff, right? There was a D coordinator here already before they got Vic Fangio. So that really helped in the way that it didn't help Brian Flores. Brian Flores had Chan Gailey, and poor Tua was talking about Chan Gailey on the Manning cast, how he had to learn a quote unquote old school offense. And they were okay with Chan Gailey too. Tua was, especially because Tua is a Cowboys fan, so he's familiar with Chan Gailey's game and all of that, but it didn't really apply as well to this kind of game where Tua needs RPO and play action to really set the ball off, right? And now the Dolphins finally have a running game, and they didn't have that the first 2 years. And that's why Tua struggled, because when you have no run game and you pin it all on him, and there's no other receiver outside of Jalen Waddle, what's the offense going to look like?
Right.
Plus you have coordinators who don't know how to drive a Ferrari like Austin, like Jalen Waddle. You got some Honda drivers with a Ferrari in the garage, and poor Jalen Waddle's going 3 yards down the field. So it's a bunch of things that happen, man. A bunch of things that happen year 1, year 2, and Dolphins are in really great shape now, man.
By the way, his career was another great contract, I got to say. And the blessing, the hidden blessing.
Incredible value contract.
Yeah, but the hidden blessing for the Dolphins is that he struggled for years. And that's probably why this contract isn't really at the top of what it could have been. If Austin would have been kicking ass for 3 to 4 years, this contract would have been a lot more money. And so the fact that, those struggles kind of became a little bit of bonus for the Dolphins, because now they get a break for 3 more years. That's one thing that I walked away with. That another great deal by Chris Grier.
Yeah, I agree. I think Austin Jackson, if he plays really well, continues on this trend, he could probably go back to the negotiating table in 2 years. When you look at his contract, 36, 3 years for 36, that's 12 mil annually. That's 11th right now among right tackle contracts. Highest paid right tackles are Lane Johnson and Jawan Taylor at 20 mil. He's getting 12 mil, Austin Jackson. An incredible steal when you think about it. And then when you get into the left tackle range, Austin Jackson's, deal would be 17th in the league, right? So if Austin Jackson did have to move over to play actual left tackle and was good there, you're getting the biggest steal probably in the NFL, because he's a mid-range guy and he's playing as well as he has right now, right? So I think Austin Jackson, this was a good deal for him to sign. He probably could have got probably a couple more, maybe a mil more a year would have been nice for his end. But he could play his way into that, man. In 2 years, if he's playing well and he becomes one of these guys that is an every down guy, every game guy. There's no reason why Austin Jackson and his representation can't go back to the negotiating table and be like, hey, I know you guys paid a lot of guys, but I'm here protecting this guy's blind side. And this is your, future $50 million investment. So let me throw a little extra my way and see what happens.
I think that'll happen, but maybe 2 years from now, leading into the final year, then they'll give them a nice little chunk and a bonus. They got to roll over. So is it AVG? Is it Rob Hunt? Is it?
It's everybody, man.
Let's see.
It's everybody.
Huh?
It's
who's
it's
next?
Everybody. You can start the Javon Holland talks. You can start the Jalen Waddle talks. Jalen Phillips, you might have to delay for another year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Van Ginkel should definitely be next, especially if you're going to give guys like Zach Sealer a contract. And that's nothing against Zach Sealer. He's done a great job, but Van Ginkel has proved to you. Van Ginkel has proved to you in his 5 years here that he's worth a long-term deal. He's given everything he has to the franchise every time he's on the field. That would be a really good reward. You pay Alec Ingold, you pay Jason Sanders. I'm just thinking about some deals that have kind of happened in the last couple of years. Van Ginkel should definitely be immediately the next one up, in my opinion.
3 contracts that won't be on the Miami Dolphins
Repeat that for me.
3 contracts that will not be on the Miami Dolphins roster next season.
Next season, wow. I was not ready for this one, so we're going to talk about this. Agba's probably the easiest one, right?
That's the layup.
Let me look it up. Agba. Cedric Wilson probably won't be here. Who knows? Christian Wilkins is a very, very interesting conversation.
I think he's gone. I think that
could be very. I mean, Raekwon Davis wouldn't be too far behind him if that's the case.
Oh no, Raekwon's also gone too. Yes, Raekwon's. I agree. Raekwon's gone. I think X is gone.
I would venture to not say X at the moment. Well, X has an out for sure, and his contract is crazy. But they're gonna see how this defense plays with him and Ramsey, and I think X might be at the negotiating table getting some kind of a market value contract because they've and maybe X says, you know what, I took a lot of y'all money the last couple of years, but I want to stay here because if I go anywhere else, I'm not gonna have Jalen Ramsey on the other side.
I like that.
I
like that. I like that. I like that. And I'm gonna add a caveat to what you just said that maybe I'll backtrack on it and maybe he can come back if he reworks it. And 2, I'm just thinking about this. If they win the Super Bowl, for sure he's not coming back. But if they have a hell of a run where they fall short in the AFC or Super Bowl and they're like, we're right, I can see them saying, yeah, let's work something and bring him back so we can make one more run with him and Jalen Ramsey. So, yeah, I can see that if they win it, for sure he's not coming back, no matter what.
No,
he would have to take a real.
I don't think so. I think, I mean, players, when they win the Super Bowl, they want to run it back, right? More so than when they
need the cap. They need the cap space so badly. They need it for so many other players that.
And the thing is, Xavien has been a corner on your team since what, 17? Yeah. He's probably your longest standing Dolphin right now. So
since John Denny left,
those kind of things, kind of will permeate into the mix and the negotiating table too. Hey, this guy's been here since 17. He's been through the downs. He's here through the ups. And X, the best thing about X is, knock on wood, the knees that we were worried about 3-4 years ago.
Yes.
Incredible, this guy, how he's performed. It's only been his groin that he's hurt. So X could get a favorable deal for himself. He's made a lot of money from the Dolphins.
And to defend your point and bury my point, he is a Ring of Honor guy.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
You might want to handle
if you let Wilkins
want to handle that a little differently.
If you let somebody like Wilkins
for sure is walking.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, all his sacks come against teams high up in the draft order. So that's my only knock on him. But I can see if you're going to let Wilkins walk, you can't, I think Howard might have to stay. He would be kind of one of those guys, like you said. Ring of honor. He has the picks. You know what I'm saying? He's been locked down since he's been here. So him and Ramsey together has been really good for this defense. I think that's probably going to help them the most without Jalen Phillips and Jerome Baker. And it's going to help guys like Duke Riley as well, too. This is probably the best roster Duke Riley's ever played on. So, and he went to LSU. So those things are going to help. The coverage on the outside is going to help the guys on the inside.
There we go. Okay. We've had some freezing going on.
Yeah, you're freezing. I'm freezing. I have a hard wire. I need to plug it in.
I don't think it's you. I think it's probably where I'm at, the hotel or whatever, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Sean's the technical guy. What is this, Sean? What is this, Sean? It's both of us?
Definitely.
It's me? Yeah, no, he says it's me. I'm the problem. No, he says I'm the problem. So this is just like when I'm at home, I'm the problem. So this is exactly nothing ever changes for me. So yeah, that's
Vegas is fun for you, Big O.
Yes,
Vegas is fun for you.
No,
how you
but I'm talking about my home. I'm talking about my other home at home. When my wife says, "Oh," so it's kind of the same thing. Sean's telling me I'm the problem. My wife tells me I'm the problem. So it's the life I live, unfortunately, bro.
Apparently,
what am I going to do? Yeah, man.
Definitely.
All right. Injury-wise, what happened with Terron Armstead this week? Or
What was that
this
about
Monday?
Terron Armstead? You said what's going to happen with him? They better not play him, man. You and I spoke about it. They better not play him. They
Okay.
might need to, but they better keep him out, man. Keep him out. That would
No, they
be
don't
probably
need
the
to.
wisest decision to do.
You got
What was
Keon
that? I
Smith,
missed.
bro. You got
Yeah,
Lamb.
exactly.
You got Lamb or Keon Smith, bro. Come on, let's go. And here's the thing. I was talking about this on my show yesterday that Keon Smith should play so you can get him even more playing time right now, get him more experience just in case because Terron Armstead can't hold up. And so now you can have somebody to protect Lamb.
Yeah, definitely. Look, the depth we've spoken about this plenty of times. The depth has helped them on offensive line tremendously this year, especially when Tehran went down. It was nice to see that when Tehran went down earlier this year, it wasn't a letdown, right? It wasn't a huge drop off. In years past, it would have been. And so you're just hoping for the least amount of drop off as possible, bro. That's the same thing you're looking for with Duke Riley coming in to play most of the linebacker snaps. And Andrew Van Ginkel hasn't dropped off anything from Jalen Phillips, in my opinion. So yeah, they got to really look at Tehran and get him as healthy as possible because it's not about first week of December. It's about the last three, and it's about first couple weeks in January. To be honest.
And by the way, I'm pretty close to going off this roof and jumping off right now because I just saw something on the chat board that I would have never seen the last couple of years from Jose Cabrera. Eichenberg can replace Hunt the way he has improved. That's how much the confidence in Liam Eichenberg has gotten that they've got him replacing Hunt.
Hey man,
That
he was
is
next.
awesome.
I guess he was next. Liam Eichenberg's played really well too.
Yes,
And
yes,
it's
yes.
good for him to show because when he came out of Notre Dame, the thing was with him, he didn't allow a college sack, I believe. And so now you're getting to a point where he's becoming a viable starter for you, and he's playing valuable minutes. Incredible, really good stuff, man. This is
What
the
do you got?
Dolphins' easiest road.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Easiest
What do you
road
got
for the
go?
Dolphins. They have the softest schedule in the NFL. They have all these home games to end the season. They got the
Mhm.
number one seed right in front of them. They could have a bye for the number one seed. They could have a bye before the Super Bowl. Play all these games at home, then go take shop in Vegas, man. So all good
Bye week sounds really good at Terron Armstead. What do you got
for
going on
sure.
at the USA Today, my man?
Nothing much, man. Enjoying my weekend for the time being. I'll be at the game on Monday night, and we'll check it out then, man.
All right, you got it. Follow him on Twitter at Safid_Dean. Safid, as always, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up
Take it
post
easy,
game
man.
Monday night.
Yes, we will. Enjoy that chicken noodle soup out there.
Yes, I will. Be good. Take
Have a
it
good one.
easy. All right, my brother. Appreciate you. Baptist Health. Baptist Health is the official sports medicine provider for the Miami Heat, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, FIU, FAU, Orange Bowl, Miami-Dade County Public Schools, Miami Open Tennis, Miami Marathon, and half marathons. And folks, Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has locations from Monroe County to Palm Beach County. Use that QR code there, whether it's the main hospital on 89th and Kendall, which I have visited. So has my wife, so has my daughter several times. Doctors Hospital down in Coral Gables, Mariners Hospital in Tavernier Key, Bethesda, East and West, 2 locations in Boynton Beach, Boca Raton Regional at 800 Meadows Road. We've got them all over throughout South Florida. BaptistHealth.net/ortho.